Get your questions in. Let's chat about it. Mickey Bolts. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and don't make me run. I'm full of chocolate. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and thank you for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free. We're available on all platforms. We are part of the #1 sports podcast network, which is, of course, the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for pushing us up to #1. We're here to answer questions from you guys. Whatever questions you want. Got a question straight away from Angelo Herrera. He says, Josh, what did you have for lunch? 6:40 a.m. Nothing. Literally just woke up, rolled out of bed, washed some bits and pieces, had a coffee, which I haven't drunk, and that's it. So yeah, I haven't had any lunch yet. All right, should I drop, Brent says, should I drop Jusuf Nurkic for Jacques Landau or Isaiah Collier in a 156 deep weekly points league? Okay, so yes, you should drop Jusuf Nurkic, right? In this sort of format, easily. Points league is worse than category leagues. Weekly league is harder than daily leagues because you just don't know which games he's going to play. Easy drop. Easy drop. Should it be Landau or Collier? It probably should be Collier. Honestly, Landau was very good last game. He was not good the game before. It's hard to reason they're going to just roll out 3 centers at a time like they did in the last game in every game, although they did win. But there's also a time frame on what Landau does. With Collier, it's more likely to keep ramping up. But honestly, when you're making a decision like that, the decision to drop Nurkic is fine. It's more about what you're doing with those other two. It's pretty borderline to me, but as a general rule, I believe Collier will be a better points league producer than Landau, and there's more of a path to be a long-term value in that spot, I think. Do you drop Santi Aldama for Kyle Filipowski tonight? I have Lowry. Yeah, I would do that. Aldama is very mid, but I think everyone, it is always important. Whatever content you're taking in, fantasy content, live content, whatever, right? Car waxing content, understand the perspective of the person who's providing the information. You know how I feel about Santi. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's first time. If so, welcome, double bang, thumb it up, right? Maybe you don't. I can't with him. I can't ever figure out if he's going to be good or bad. He'll get an opportunity to play more minutes and he'll be worse. Then he'll come off the bench and play 22 minutes and shoot 90% and have 20 and 11. He won't block a shot for 3 months and I'll say he's terrible and he'll block 5 shots in 2 games. Right? I don't trust him. I think that this, and we've talked about the pivot, the big pivot from the Jazz, and it's very obviously happening, right? Marketing out today, Nurkic out Monday. Filipowski is going to get opportunities in nearly every game here. It has to be him, I think. Do I think Amen still has more upside? Okay, here's the thing with Amen Thompson. People are going, oh, he was hyped way too far. Everyone thought he was going to do too much, right? Me included. Well, that's not true, actually. I'm not saying that. People are directing that at me. I thought he was going to be better. But I think we need to understand about Amen Thompson and where the hype was. I never, in a million years, expected Amen Thompson to have a gigantic usage. That is not what the hype was. I didn't come in and go, people go, he's never going to get this usage because KD was there. Yeah, I know. That wasn't why he was pushed up rankings. The reason is that last season, he was blocking shots. He was getting steals and his rebounds were through the roof. And his blocks are cutting like a third. Now, could we have looked at that and gone, well, he's now playing more point guard instead of forward and the blocks drop? Like, sure. But there are examples of elite shot blocking point guards who still provide elite shot blocking numbers, Derek White. I believed Amen Thompson would continue to do that. And it just hasn't been there. So, is there more upside? Like, very obviously, yes. Just have a look at what Amen Thompson did last season. He was rolling with a top 15 sort of value for multiple weeks when he was a starter playing 36 minutes. And largely the difference is, it's like 1.5 rebounds, but it's like triple the blocks. That's it. That's the major difference here. Because most other things are actually elevated, including his free throw percentage. But that's really the difference. So yeah, there is more upside there. LaQuandre says, my league mate's been throwing a tantrum for multiple weeks because I traded Grayson Allen for Desmond Bain help. I don't know how I can help, but your league mate, if he's watching this, just stop being a pussy. Like, what's your problem? Who cares, man? You did a trade. Yeah. The amount of people who are just whinging, whining complainers playing fantasy basketball, like, bro, okay, it happened. Maybe you have an issue with the guy who traded away Desmond Bane because they don't understand where values lie. Or, I'll also throw you this one, LaQuandre, to tell your league mate. It is not crazy that these guys finish with the same value anyway. It's possible. So, tell him to shut up. Coming straight from me. What do you think about LaMelo Ball? Should I stash him? What do you mean? He is playing literally today. So if you have, for some reason, the ability to pick up LaMelo Ball because all of your league mates have unwittingly set their browser language to Cyrillic and none of them can read it, go on at him. What are we talking about? Yes. Is Jaren Jackson a sell high Omar? Theoretically, sure. Is anyone going, well, I guess those two games mean that this is what it's going to be from now on? So, no. Anything's possible. I don't know what people are going to do. Anything is possible. But no, after 2 games, no, it's not happening. Kelly Oubre, Kawhi says. Kelly Oubre and Aaron Nesmith must adds when they return. Almost certainly not. That's not true. Oubre probably is. Nesmith is one of these guys that hangs around the top 140 to 120. You get you 13 points with 2 threes and 5 rebounds and 1.2 steals, which is fine. But almost invariably, they become your worst or second worst player that when you stream through, you get more value. I think what will end up happening with guys like Nesmith and Oubre must add, like, okay, let's break down what I even mean there, or what you mean maybe, which I'm guessing what you mean. If they're sitting on the waiver wire and they're about to play, will someone grab them? Yeah, probably. Should it be you? Yeah, maybe. Does it matter if it's not? No. So to me, that's not a must. In the end, nothing matters. Like if you add or if you don't add, like you can get away with things and you can adjust and whatever, right? But like, should someone grab them? Yes. Is it the end of the world that you missed out on a league winner? No, it's not. So they'll end up being just on and off at times during the season. All right, what do we do here? Do I think Jaden Ivey will finish in the top 100 for 9 categories? It's going to take a lot for that to be the case, so no, I don't. I don't know why I would think that. Is James Harden a sell high? It's a good question, H Media. And not to pick on you, H Media 119, because I'm not. I'm just highlighting this, but as I'm going to sneeze and I can't pause it because it's live. Oh my God. That didn't quite come out. Sure. Is James Harden a sell high? Sure. But remember 2 things. I know that you'll be saying it, well, he's injured now. Sure. The Clippers are bad. Yes. But they also don't have their draft pick. Harden, I expect, will just be playing through. But the major arching do you say? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Talking about James Harden here is like the idea that you bring up this idea that James Harden is a sell high when there'll be conflicting opinions on whether that is the case. Also, when someone just goes out injured, almost that is literally the antithesis of sell high. Hey, Jim had a bad game and now he's out. Would you want to buy him for the peak of his value? Doesn't work that way. But the fact that you're asking that question always brings up the option. If I think someone is looking at someone incorrectly as a sell high, like I think you might be looking at Harden here, there is a gigantic possibility that means it's a buy low. I know that sounds confusing. But if James Harden, let's make up a number because I'm not looking at it in front of me, but he's the 10th best player this season. Right, you go, oh man, I'm worried. He's injured and the Clippers are bad and he might sit down at the end of the season. I've got to sell high. And then you come to me for a trade. I go, why would I trade from him? He's injured, bro. And look at his last game. He looked bad. What if he's out for 2 weeks with a calf issue? You go, yeah, you're right. I guess I'll take a top 30 guy back. I go, done. And you go, sold high. I sold high, man. You didn't. He's a buy low. Now, that's all very hypothetical, right? But selling high requires pain. It requires pain. You can't say, well, Harden's been good. He had a bad game and now he's injured. Well, I guess I wash my hands. No, you have to look at Harden dropping a 40-point triple-double with 2 steals and then go, now, Jim, that was fantastic, my guy, but now you're off. If you truly believe that he'll be sat down and limited and injured all the way through, you have to cop a kick in the dick on a sell high for it to actually work. You can't go, well, now he sucks. Guess it's selling high. And again, apologies, it's not directed to you. It's about everybody. It's just about a general ruling. What are my thoughts on Toumani Caara, 12-team League 9 cat? He's been not very good this season, largely because the shooting percentages are down and the steal numbers are down. I am holding him. I'm not really sure where I'm getting a player. And this is, again, why this game of fantasy basketball is so interesting and so I guess, engaging at times. Is because I don't know who I'm finding who's getting those minutes. Could I theoretically stream Kamara's current value? Sure. Could I stream Kamara's expected median value? No, I couldn't. But I also saw someone talking about Toumani Caara the other day saying, yeah, look, his minutes are great at the moment. That's what's keeping him there. But when Matisse Thybulle comes back, that'll cut in. I go, okay, I don't think that's going to happen. But somebody does. So if somebody does think that Matisse Thybulle is going to come in and we're going to get a minute split between him and Caara, then you have a different valuation of players. And that's where buy lows and sell highs and dropping and adding and all that sort of stuff comes into it. And taking back to the Desmond Bain, Grayson Allen trade scenario, where people just don't know, but they have different opinions on the way that players should be looked at. I hope that makes sense. We've got more of your questions coming in. Today's episode, though, is brought to you by DoorDash. The season, it's heating up. And DoorDash has a way to keep all fans in their bag the whole way through. You might be watching your favorite team. You might be, and I don't know who does this, but you might be sitting there watching the tunnel fits. Your favorite player, your favorite team, the highlights. DoorDash makes the entire season more fun because every player has their bag. With DoorDash, fans have one too. DoorDash keeps your snacks stocked, your gear fresh, and your watch party vibes absolutely on point. You can be stressed out by your team. We all know that. Your fantasy team, your real life team. DoorDash might be your post-game therapy. But sometimes you just need to get that dessert in your belly right now. You might be a group chat that says, pull up. Who's writing this? DoorDash, make sure that you show up prepared. Snacks, cups, and even a phone charger for the friend who's always at 2%. From tip-off to overtime, stay in your bag and order on DoorDash. Get snacks, drinks, and gear. Whatever gets you through the season, delivered right to your door. DoorDash, in your bag all season long. Today's episode is also brought to you by Rocket Money. Your money, sometimes it just feels like it disappears into thin air. It happens fast as subscriptions come out, impulse buys. The numbers in your bank account don't reflect what your perceived reality is. Rocket Money helps you get the clarity, tracks every dollar, and stay in control of your finances. Because managing your money shouldn't feel like a second job. Rocket Money does the heavy lifting for you so you can save more and stress less. Rocket Money gets the subscriptions and finds them, the ones that you forgot that you were paying for, and helps you clean them up quickly. Rocket Money automatically builds budgets based on past spending. It keeps you on track without overthinking it. And having the app helps you find the right times to save each month, which keeps you consistent with your financial goals. So take control of your finances and cancel your unwanted subscriptions with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That is rocketmoney.com/lockedon. rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Okay, we're here answering your questions. All right. Ositria Bloom says, do I have your permission to drop Jakob Poeltl for Kyle Filipowski? You don't need it. You don't need my permission at all. Is Jakob Poeltl struggling at the moment? Am I worried about the back injury, the back-to-backs, the lower minutes, the lower usage, the lower block numbers? Yeah. Is Filipowski currently worse than Nurkic? Yes. Do I think it'd be okay if you made that switch while acknowledging that there will be moments where Poeltl is better than Filipowski? I think that would be okay, yes. Is Jayson Tatum coming back in February? I'll ask him. I'll get back to you. How would I know? I don't know. He tore his Achilles in May. Usually 12-month recovery. 18 months to be back to your full self. I know that this man is the hardest working person of all time. Nobody has worked harder than Jayson Tatum. Nobody has bled green propaganda. Bled green as much as Jayson Tatum. But Brad Stevens also came out yesterday and said, he's only coming back if A, he's 110%, B, we think he's ready to come back, C, he's ready to come back. Do I think he'll come back at some point? Probably yes. I'd say he plays 6 to 10 regular season games, meaning he comes back in March. I do not believe you need to be holding Jayson Tatum on your roster. I just don't believe it. He'll come back, he'll be rusty, lower minutes, missing back-to-backs, and February is a pipe dream to me. Is Rob Williams for 14-team leagues or streaming only? If you're in a 14-team league, I think you can just hold on to him. Now, it's going to be frustrating with games in and out, and there'll be moments where you need to drop him. But I would be okay with just grabbing and holding on, and then making adjustments later on. Is Asad Thompson a drop? Maybe. Look, that depends. Your league type isn't specified there. He's playing poorly. His minutes are down. It would depend on the rest of your roster. Do you have anyone that's close to being that bad? But I wouldn't rule it out for a start. And what do I think about Nickeil Alexander-Walker when Trey's back? He's losing value. He won't play as many minutes. He won't have as much usage. He won't have as much time on ball. He won't have as many assists. Like, fight me as much as you want on that. And people will. Maybe not here because you're all cool guys. But someone will. He won't be as good. Will he be rosterable? I don't know. But you know what I'm doing? I'm holding and waiting to find out. I think he might be, but instead of being a top 50 player, he might be 120th. But I'm waiting to see what happens with that. What else have we got here? Tony, okay, maybe this is it. Is this the time? Says, I really wanted to ask you your thoughts on sleeper locked leagues. Tony. Guess what? Sleeper sucks. It's bad. Those leagues are dreadful. You love it. It's a different type of strategy. It's not strategy. It's luck. It's a terrible format. They're a bunch of, I can't say that. They are incredibly naive. They're cutting off their own nose to spite their face because they think they know what they're talking about. That is part of the sleeper issue. We believe we fixed fantasy basketball. You haven't. We will give you no other options and we will cut off 80% of the playing base of fantasy basketball because we think that reducing the NBA to a 1 game per week format is the way to go. And it's not. Simple as that, it is not. Even if they produced this locked-in format that they thought was the greatest solution of all time, provide other formats. You would find nearly everybody coming across onto Sleeper. It would happen. But they are so stubborn that they don't believe that they can play a category league or a regular points league. And this idea that a Sleeper locked format, the once a week format, is this high-level skill trade, it's not. It's luck. You're guessing. It's random. Is this guy going to score 35 here, or is he going to score 38 the next game? You can't sit there and go, oh, I've worked it out. I've actually brought out the calculators. I've protected the angles. And this is... You can't. I do this every day for a living, projecting player stats each day. I can't give you that. It's impossible to do. You cannot, with any level of certainty, not even close to a level of certainty, show that your strategy finds the right game. It's not strategy. It's luck. It's randomness. Not to mention the way that their social media team handles things, which is abhorrent and horrible. There you go. Josh says, hey Josh, your videos are now banned in bed as my partner gets mad hearing your voice first thing in the morning. Any advice on how to handle this situation? Josh, a couple of ways. Either your partner comes to my bed or you do. And we can watch them together. Or she can be out of your bed while you're watching by yourself. That's up to you. But I think they're probably the only ways around that, would be my guess. Do I think Giddy's value will go up and down if Chicago trade people away? This is one of the questions that I get all the time, Amir, and I'll go through it again with you. If I could drop big swears, I would do it. I do not care, and you should not care. It doesn't matter. You're trying to base, again, if you sit there and go, Chicago may or may not trade people, and Giddy's value may or may not go down. That's already 4 different things. I mean, if you sit there, if I guess it's this thing here, and this right angle happens there, and that happens there, then maybe it's the marginal improvement you might get versus the downside risk or just the complete waste of brain power is not worth it. You don't know. No one knows. Because could they trade people away to actually go for it? Maybe. Could they trade guys away to tank? Maybe. Could they trade nobody? Maybe. Could Giddy be traded? Well, certainly not, but maybe. Like, it's a waste of brain power. When to stash Tatum? We've just had a Tatum question. Don't stash Tatum. I wouldn't bother with it. It's usually, like, at any point if you've got a free IL spot, add him. If you want. I don't care. The downside to that is it wastes one of your moves. I just don't believe this is a thing. There is a football player that came back from an ACL injury in 7 months. Well, I'm glad that's the case because we're talking about an Achilles injury in a basketball player. Which are clearly not the same thing. Am I in any keeper leagues? I'm in a dynasty league. I'm in one dynasty league, yeah. Wasting my best in my recovery. I don't have any recovery. I had an appointment with a surgeon for ACL stuff, and we're going to meet again in January. But I haven't done anything, so there's nothing going on with me. Yuri remembers the old dancing Santa. Yeah, he probably comes next week, Yuri. All right, where are we question-wise? What's your opinion on a return date for Jrue Holiday? Absolutely no idea. And this seems to be a question that's popping up a lot here, right? About Jrue Holiday. Man, it's been so long. Yeah, it's been a while, and it's been frustrating we haven't gotten an update. But, what's it been? 4 weeks, which is a relatively standard time frame for a calf strain? It's annoying that you don't have a time frame on it, but, it's not, an outrageous scenario here. I would guess we're talking a week, but I don't know. I got no idea. I got no idea. Will Utah start Collier soon? I don't think so, but I don't know that it matters. I don't know that it matters. Have I ever played fantasy in other sports? Yeah, I have. We used to go down and play tennis, dressed in Wizards gear with wands. But I've also done fantasy sports for football, baseball, Australian football, hockey at one point. Yeah, I'm well versed. Okay. Let's have a look. Will the Padres win the division next season? And Rip City step. I like the little pivot here before we get into the last segment of the show. Do I think we will? I don't know, man. But if JP Sears is in our pitching rotation, I'd say it's probably going to be tough. I'd like to see us make a move. Or sign somebody. That's not Ty Adcock. But anyway, we'll see. We will see. Pretty unlikely, I'd say, Rip City. But you just never know. You got to have faith. For the faithful. Today's episode is brought to you by Gusto. No one starts a business for the joy of calculating tax withholdings or managing payroll spreadsheets. That's where Gusto comes in. Is to take the stress out of payroll, benefits, and HR so that you can focus on running your business and supporting your team. You might say that Gusto is a app with benefits. Is that a thing? Should be. Gusto is the all-in-one remote-friendly payroll and HR platform that makes managing your team simple, transparent, and fast. Whether you're hiring, onboarding, or paying employees, Gusto helps you do it all from one place without the hassle or the hidden fees. You get unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price, which means no surprise charges at the end of the month. And Gusto's automated tools like offer letters, onboarding materials, and direct deposits save you hours every week. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/lockedonnba and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's right, it is 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/lockedonnba. One more time. Dun, 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 dun. That's gusto.com/lockedonnba. All right. Everydayers. You want ad-free podcasts? Go to lockedonpodcast.com/everydayer. Show that you are an everydayer. It's a club. It's exclusive. You get merch. You got ad-free podcasts. You got exclusive Discords and exclusive shows. It's there. Everydayers. Jump in. Bang in. Questions. Saw one that I wanted to talk about because I don't get it. Amir, it's you again, man. Is there a tanking risk for the Spurs at the end of the season? No. Stop it. Donovan Mitchell shut down Canada. What are we actually talking about? No. What are we doing? No. Are you trying to conflate the Utah Jazz versus the Eastern Conference previous favorite Cleveland Cavaliers, who are above 500? Stop. This game can be complicated. Playing category leagues in fantasy adds extra complication. Trying to determine the psychology of your opponents is hard. It's complicated. Trying to figure out what an NBA coach is going to do, what an NBA player is going to do. Stop introducing extra layers of complexity that don't need to be there. No. Absolutely no. Yeah. No. At what point can you feel comfortable with dropping Porzingis? I'll tell you now, I'm not feeling comfortable with it. I wouldn't do it. Also, the thing at the moment is that I'm going to guess that you can just hold him in your IL. So you're probably not the best time to do that. I get that people will want to do it. And honestly, if he comes back and then goes out again, then I would probably be like, you can't with this. But I've got a level of faith. Sort of. Small. Very small. Am I concerned about Alex Sarr's availability the past 2 seasons? Not really. Not particularly, no. Do I think trading him for Zubats in a point league is a smart move? Well, that would depend. Amadeus, if that is in fact your real name, I hope it is. What do these guys average in your points league? Your number one thing in a points league, hey, my guy averages 30, your guy averages 30. And then you look at it and go, is there like trending upward ability here? Is there trending downward ability? Is there a gigantic gulf between the two? Is Zubats a 38-point guy and Sarr's a 50-point guy? Then I'm not making that move. The other part about Sarr is people will be like, well, he's going to get shut down at the end of the season for the Wizards tank. I don't know that that's the case, to be honest. He's been much better this season. I think there's a higher chance of that happening for Sarr this season than last season, but I'm not convinced. He's not a veteran. That's not the thing, right? I don't believe that's going to be a thing. What will I do when I hit 100k subs? Pink beard. That's a good beast mode. That's a good question. Pink beard. I'm going to do a nickname origin show. We'll know that one. Pink beard. Don't know about that. Maybe we'll be shaving my eyebrows. I don't know. I just realized my hair's got a weird bit sticking off the side, which is, my hair's out of control at the moment. Okay. So Sarr is 21, while Zubac is 40 overall. Okay, that's back to the Sarr Zubac points league on. Then why would I do that? No. Is Jeremiah Fears a liability in fantasy playoffs for the Pelicans having a 2-game week? Yeah. Look, at the moment, he is barely rosterable. He's like, 120th, 140th, around that zone. Plus, we've got to reintegrate Jordan Poole. Zion Williamson's come back for one game. He came off the bench. I don't know if he starts. And then I'm going to guess by fantasy playoffs, we may, or may not, we may have DeJounte Murray playing. A 2-game week of Jeremiah Fears will absolutely not be startable in the fantasy playoffs. Even if, he's taken big improvements, guys are shut down, he's playing 35 minutes a night, he almost certainly will not be startable in that 2-game week. So, yeah, that is possible. A 14-team league, do I trade Austin Reeves for KD? Why? One player, Reeves, has been very clearly better this season. And yes, he is currently injured, but he's also not currently 37 years old. I don't know what your point would be on that one, to be honest. With the Jazz trending down, or trending towards, with where the Jazz are trending towards, as I can't read, and I apologize, when do you think it's okay to drop Nurkic? Today. Right now. Do it. Do it. Although, I'll say this. Nurkic will probably put up a solid game today, but it's a 12-game day that's on, isn't it? And he said, can I drop him for Bilal or Tari? They're not exciting players to me. They're fine, but dropping Nurkic so you can open up a slot just to stream through blokes, totally okay. Totally okay. Is Bilal Coulibaly going to be a league winner? Absolutely not. Have you seen the man play? You just picked him up on waivers. Congratulations to you. Cool. Sick. Fears is the perfect guy you have in the playoffs because you drop him during the two. Is he, though? I'm not saying not to have him. Yeah, you would drop him during that week. But also, by that point, 4 other guys on your roster will become droppable because of just a fluctuation of form. And he's not doing enough at the moment for me to suggest that that's how good he is. He's not like a top 70 guy who's going to have a 2-game week where you can drop. What do I think of DeJounte Murray? Honestly, he seems like a bit of a dickhead. Why do the Bulls hate Buzelis? 2 reasons. A, it is true that he is not ready to be a high-level option. That is true. He is inconsistent. The part of it is, though, they think that they can be relevant as a team. Their owner, and therefore their absolute clown front office, thinks, no, if we just get to the play-in, that's all we need. It keeps the fans satisfied. We get maybe a home playoff revenue game. Maybe. And Billy Donovan is the coach for that because he's like, well, I can squeeze 5% more winning basketball out of somebody else than I'll bench Buzelis. And I'll teach him a lesson with it. So, yeah. He's tough at the moment. I am holding. Mainly because in most of my leagues, I'm in a very strong position. So I can afford that. Because it's not that long ago. And by not that long ago, I think it's a week where the 2 previous weeks he was a top 70 player. And yeah, the minutes are very well down at the moment. But all it's going to take here is for something to sort of click and he plays 32 a night. I don't think there's any danger of him losing his starting job. The problem I have with Buzelis at the moment is that the return of Zach Collins has meant that Jalen Smith is now playing power forward, and for some reason Billy Donovan really loves to do that, meaning that is cutting into Buzelis' minutes. So that's a concern, but I am currently holding Matas. If I'm in a 130 or 150 deep points league, I get dropping one. The upside's not as high. In a category league, I am holding though. Bowen says, I'm sorry for repeating the question. Well, Bowen, I think one of the things that you guys know that when you ask a question on this, there's part of it that's humiliation ritual. Part of it is fun and it's jokes, and you can contribute to being part of the fun and the jokes. Is Amen Thompson a hold? Sorry for repeating the question. If you're going to repeat the question, maybe you can make it a full question. Is he a hold? Yes. Is he a hold? No. Because you might be in a 30-team league, a 20-team league, a 16-team league, a 10-team league, a 6-team league, a 10-team league, a points team league, a category league, whatever. I don't absolutely know. So I'm going to default this question that you've asked so many times to say maybe. If I'm in a 10-team points league, yes. If I'm in a 12-team category league, very close to yes. But as always, what are you doing with the spot? Is, for example, and we're going to bring this bloke's name up a lot because I love... no, I can't say that. I can't say that. Well, if you knew what happened up here, or if you knew that sometimes the things that I do say on shows and I go, I can't do that, I've got to go back and cut and edit that, I can't say that, that's probably going to cause problems. Kyle Filipowski, for example. Would I drop Amen Thompson for Kyle Filipowski at this very moment, the man that we're talking about a lot? Probably would. I probably would. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but I probably would. There you go. I believe something may have happened with Zach LaVine. Let's have a look. I don't know what's that. Did something crazy happen that I've missed? What happened? No, nothing? What happened to Zach LaVine? What's people talking about Zach LaVine? What do you mean? What is this? Zach LaVine, I don't know. Zach LaVine, I don't know what's going on. Nothing happened. Cool, that I can see. Stash Scoot Henderson, again, doubt it. Is he going to come back and be a starter? Don't think so. Is he going to be good? Maybe, but doubt it. Is he going to play enough minutes? Also doubt it. Is Bones Highland any chance to be a 16-team guy when Anthony Edwards returns? Like, maybe, but also, you've seen him come in and out of the rotation. You see Shannon or Clark or Dillingham get those minutes. At the moment, Bones is playing well. No guarantee he continues doing that. So there's a chance, sure. Do I feel confident about it? No. Like someone said, LaVine ankle. Yeah, I know, but look, we knew that. But was there an extra update to it? Ricardo, for the love of God, please get out of here, or you will be banned. What do I use for injury updates? It's a good question, Mike. I don't know if you heard it. I'm in the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and we run a news service at basketballmonster.com where I do the injury updates myself. So what do I use? Myself. Is Collier more than a pure assists back-end guy in a cat league? It's a really good question. He can be an assists and steals guy, and I think that if you're doing it in 25 minutes, it's not enough. He is just an assist guy in that. If he's a 30-minute guy, he might get 14 points, 8 assists, 1.8 steals, which is enough. And I think that's going to be the difference here, isn't it? Well, maybe not. Will Mark Williams start playing back-to-backs? I wish I knew. I'll tell you what I think. I'm not going to rule that out. I would say it's a... Hang on. I'm just going to pull the number straight out of my... Yep. I said it's a 10% chance that he plays back-to-backs. But I don't know. I'm not going to just say absolutely not. If we have Kawhi Leonard playing back-to-backs, there is a chance. Jared McCain or Anthony Simons in a points league, six team. Shout out to you, Beast Mode. That is an epic troll. I enjoy it from you. How do I maintain such a nice beard? I don't really. I actually did trim it down today. But otherwise, what I do, water hits it. And literally that's it. Just happened to be an extremely hirsute man. We might be, the time looks like about time is up. My time is now. You can't see me. My time is now. That's it. We're out of here. Go. If you chuck in a really good question at the end, I might sneak it in, but that might be it for us. You can hit the subscribe button. We'll be back with a preview for Friday, a Thursday recap show. But remember, like I said yesterday, got some health stuff happening here in the house, in the family, that we are dealing with. So my timings and stuff just might be altered. I just don't know what is going to happen. So I expect that everything will still happen everything will still happen. I just don't know that there might be some adjustments to timing. That's the thing. Hit the thumb on the video. Double bang it. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Sorry for roasting you, if that was you. But again, if you also have a humiliation ritual, or you know people who do, a criticism kink, tell them to come in next show. We'll see what we can do. See ya.